How's it going, Collide World? I figured this would probably be the easiest way to communicate some of the information and announcements that we have moving forward for ministry into the summer and how that's going to work amidst all of this, the COVID situation that we're in. And I wanted to start off just by saying thank you, both to the parents and the students and the staff. Everybody has really come together. They've worked really, really hard. It was a steep learning curve. I know we had a lot of glitches at various times trying to figure out how to pull this together, but over the 10 weeks, man, we've really learned a lot about how to communicate through these mediums and how to still have fun and have that community. There's been so much good, and I just want to say that I could not have pulled this off without the support of our volunteer staff, who are just amazing, and they really do love Jesus and love your students well. And I'm so thankful to them, and I'm so thankful for those of you that have been continuing to participate, continuing to pursue God through this time. It's just amazing. Parents who have given up TVs and computers, man. Uh, we are just so thankful for what you have been doing to continue to support the ministry. You know, various states are having different reactions. We're kind of at an interesting stage of the pandemic where initially the goal was to make sure that we didn't overwhelm the hospital resources. And New York, California, Illinois are kind of in different places, but we live in a state that is beginning to experiment with lifting some of these restrictions. Not all of them, but some of them. And in this time, some people are celebrating that and saying it's about time. Some people are condemning that and saying we absolutely shouldn't be doing this. And it's such a unique tension in our culture as we try to talk about what does returning to normal, whatever that even means, but returning to full functionality, what does that even look like? At Crossway, our grid has always been, and it continues to be, loving God and loving our neighbor. Every decision that we have made has been filtered through that grid. So initially, loving God and loving our neighbor led us to the conclusion that we need to close down and move to 100% virtual. And I believe that that was the right decision in terms of what it means to be in solidarity with the people around us, what it means to witness to our neighbor, what it means to not cling to our rights. I absolutely believe that was the right decision. But as the state is beginning to lift restrictions, as we're watching the COVID numbers and how that's working, we're starting to see that this kind of phase two is not as clear cut. And it provides a lot of ambiguity, a lot of opinions. We see a lot of stuff on Facebook and in the news, and it's all that kind of craziness as we talk about what returning to function means. And so I wanted to kind of talk about where we were at with that. We have chosen to do a wise and slow return to function. Now, we know that there's no right answer. We know that there's better and worse answers, but there's no right answer to this. But that is what we have decided. After about 10 weeks, the social isolation on our students is starting to wear thin. We're starting to be concerned about that. And also the reality that it looks like we may be in this phase for a longer duration than any of us really understood at the beginning has required us to start to get creative on some of our options. And so, what Collide is going to start doing is we are going to start having watch parties. What this means is we're going to continue to stream online. However, we're going to have a couple of locations identified with staff where students can come together in groups of around 8 to come together to watch youth group together. And the advantage of this is it allows us to maintain appropriate social distancing while still being together, while still having that sense of community. And there's still a lot of bugs in the system, a lot of ideas we have to work out about can we use small group discussions for stuff like that. But I wanted you to know that that's going to be coming. We're going to continue to stream, but we're going to also be providing this option for those who feel comfortable with it to then have students group together around 8, like I said, to do youth group together through that medium. Now, I understand that this announcement, some people are going to say that we haven't gone far enough. Other people are going to say that we're going too far. And I understand that. And so, what I want to say is that parents, you need to continue to be parents. You know your child, you know their health. I don't know them the way you do, and God has appointed you to be their parent. So if you are in a position where you are not comfortable with your students attending a watch party for youth ministry, don't let them go. You have my full blessing, the full blessing of the church to not do that. You need to make the best decision for your family. Children, students, depending on your age, if you are in one of those families where you want to go, but your parents say no, Scripture is clear that you are to joyfully submit to your parents' decision there. God has appointed them as an authority over you. If they don't want you to go, you don't go. It's that simple, and you need to do it joyfully. It's no different than what you've been doing for the last 10 weeks anyway, so it doesn't cost you anything. For those who do decide that they want to participate in these watch parties, there will be a permission slip that is required to attend, and I'm going to put the link. We've loaded that to our website, and it's going to be in the description below. But you can go to that link to print out the permission slip. You will need to bring that with you. Students, allow me to be very clear. If you do not have a permission slip signed by parents, you will be turned away. The watch parties are not open to the public. We can't just bring people. You don't get to just show up. We need to know that your parents are supportive of this option, and this is a mechanism by which we can gauge that your parents actually support this. Now, I understand that this could generate a lot of questions, a lot of comments, a lot of dialogue. I want you to know I welcome that. Parents and students both, if you have questions about this, I would love to hear you. You can feel free to call me here at church. If you have my cell phone, you can call me there. Send me an email. I would love to dialogue about that. If you have concerns, comments, questions, support, whatever it is, if you need to talk, that's what we're here for. So that's the direction we're going to go. I wanted to let you know I'm excited about this step in return to full functionality because I think it allows us to start to have some community feelings together. We're coming back together again a little bit, but I think it's being done in a way that's responsible and wise. And so I'm excited about this opportunity. So students, if you are interested in joining a watch party, you need to email me or text me, and I will put you on a list, and then I'm going to assign students to watch parties based on friendships, natural connections, stuff like that. So we'll dialogue, but then I'll tell you where to go and what time. So I'm really excited about this. Let me know what you think.